Today's making sense question is, what is the difference between gross margin and contribution margin? We'll look into this actual question in relating to a product-based business. Basically the delineation or the segmentation point between gross margin and contribution margin from how we at Accountfully look at it is basically what are all the costs that are incurred to get the product ready to be sold and in a warehouse, um, ready to be sold is the stopping point between kind of cost of goods sold and gross margin to all the costs that are incurred post sale to then reach the customer factor into contribution margin. So to get more specific on that, all the costs that are incurred to get the product ready to be sold in a warehouse include raw materials, co-manufacturing, labor, if you're kind of an in-house manufacturer, supplies, packaging, freight in duties, et cetera, as well as transfers between warehouses, right? And if there's transfer between warehouses of your co-manufacturer to 3PL, receiving costs, et cetera. So I would say all those costs are incurred to get the product ready to be sold in your warehouse, sitting there like on a pallet, ready to be sold, should be included in your cost of goods sold, which then impacts your gross margin or gross profit. Contribution margin includes all the costs post sale, after the sale, which is credit card fees, freight out, shipping and delivery to customers, pick, pack, and ship, warehousing and storage, kind of 3PL fees post, sale, etc. All of those items should be factored into that. So if you segment those two kind of cost buckets where all the costs that are incurred prior to being sold, but in the warehouse ready to be sold to a customer, as well as then all the costs that are incurred post sale, from when the customer buys it to when they receive it, then you're able to kind of segment and see the different margin percentages and be able to delineate or look at the different costs that are incurred between both of them and maybe see kind of where you're getting slippage or not efficient. So for example, let's say your shipping costs out to customers, outbound to customers, if you have a DTC business, maybe skyrocketing due to travel issues or COVID or whatever. Well, your contribution margin then should be kind of minimizing or decreasing, right? But maybe perhaps if all your product costs and everything else is static, then your gross margin percentage should be the same. So then when you're looking at those two numbers and you see your contribution margin decreasing, but gross margin staying the same, you can say, I need to figure out how to be more efficient post sale, or do I need to adjust my pricing, or what does that look like? Is this a long-term impact or short-term impact? So instead of kind of bundling them all up into one cost structure that says, here's your gross margin, which other folks do, we like segmenting it just so you can properly illustrate and see those two different buckets or structures that then help you understand what's going on in your business and maybe make tweaks or look at the different metrics accordingly. So hopefully you learned a little bit about more gross margin and contribution margin and why we segment it accountfully. And hopefully you apply this to your business. Thanks for taking time to listening in, and hope you enjoyed making sense.